began with a simple post on social media. A message tucked between memes, vacation photos, and viral videos. The post read like an opportunity. Looking to make easy money? DM me. Fast cash. No risk. For most people scrolling by, it was a scam, nothing more than another digital whisper in a crowded feed. But for some, curiosity and desperation won. And behind that post was a Florida woman. Authorities say she wasn't just another social media user. She was the mastermind of an ATM tap-in fraud scheme that would siphon thousands of dollars from banks across Hillsborough County. Her name has not yet faded from headlines. Deputies would later accuse her of orchestrating a carefully woven fraud network, recruiting accomplices through the one place almost everyone feels safe: social media. Hillsborough County deputies call it a tap-in fraud scheme. It's clever, almost too simple. Investigators say the woman lured people online, sometimes strangers, sometimes acquaintances, promising them fast cash. All they had to do was hand over their debit card and PIN. The pitch sounded like a hustle, a shortcut. The woman allegedly told recruits banks wouldn't notice. They could walk away with easy money. No one would get caught. Once she had access to the accounts, deputies say she, or those working with her, would tap in at ATMs. In some cases, they would deposit fraudulent checks or manipulate transactions, then quickly withdraw cash before the system caught up. By the time the banks flagged the activity, the money was gone. The account holder? Left responsible. The organizer? Already moving on to the next recruit. For some of the victims, this wasn't just strangers lured on social media. Deputies say she targeted vulnerable people, those struggling financially, those too young to understand the risk, even single parents just trying to make ends meet. They thought it was side income, a harmless scheme. Instead, it was felony fraud. One 19-year-old recruit later told deputies, "She said it was just a way to beat the system. I didn't think I could get in trouble." But the trouble came fast. Thousands of dollars vanished across multiple banks. Victims were left with frozen accounts, overdraft notices, and in some cases, criminal charges for participating. The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office had been tracking unusual ATM withdrawals for weeks. ATM security cameras caught glimpses of individuals withdrawing cash at odd hours, sometimes multiple people at different machines on the same night. The patterns suggested coordination. Deputies dug deeper. They pulled transaction logs, traced the accounts, and noticed one name popping up again and again: the Florida woman behind the social media recruitment posts. Detectives say she wasn't working alone. She had built a small fraud ring, using others to carry out the risky withdrawals while she orchestrated everything from behind the screen. When deputies finally closed in, they filed a list of charges: bank fraud, scheme to defraud, criminal use of personal identification, conspiracy. The sheriff's office described her as the ringleader, bold enough to recruit openly online, confident enough to believe she wouldn't get caught. But in Hillsborough County, the law was closing in. One investigator told Fox 13, she took advantage of people's trust. She made them believe they were part of something harmless, when in reality she was pulling them into serious criminal activity. Deputies used the case to issue a broader warning. If someone offers fast, easy money online, be suspicious. Never give out your debit card, PIN, or personal banking info. If it sounds too good to be true, it's probably a crime. The sheriff's office said this type of fraud is spreading, fueled by social media platforms where scammers can reach thousands with a single post. Victims are left with wrecked finances, criminal charges, and shattered trust. When the story aired, viewers across Florida reacted with outrage. Some were shocked by how easily recruits fell for the scheme. Others admitted they'd seen similar posts in their feeds, dismissing them as harmless get-rich-quick scams. One retired banker commented, "This is becoming more common. These fraudsters use kids, young adults, and even struggling families to do their dirty work. They're preying on people's desperation." The Florida woman now faces the courts. Her recruits face a different kind of reckoning, the harsh reality that what looked like easy money was actually a fast track to handcuffs. And as banks tighten their systems, as investigators track new schemes, one truth remains. Fraud doesn't always come from strangers on dark streets. Sometimes it comes from a friend online, promising cash with a smile. Do you think the recruits should face charges, or were they victims too? Would you have recognized this as fraud if you saw the post on social media? Is the organizer the only one guilty, or does responsibility fall on everyone who took part?